Representative Hanna.
Thank you, Chair Garrett and members of the committee. Thank you for having us here today. For the record, I'm Bruce Hanna, State Representative from House District 7. House District 7 covers vast areas of rural Douglas and Lane counties. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I do appreciate your time in looking at the legislation on your agenda today. The idea that we have to have a conversation about the economic peril facing Oregon's timber counties is beyond frustrating. At the risk of redundancy, I want to reiterate a few words and sentiments that I relayed on the House floor today. The peril faced by many of Oregon's rural counties and communities is caused by what I believe is blatant disregard for one of Oregon's most fundamental, robust, and sustainable resources, forest land. Oregon's forest land is both a natural and an economic resource, and the feds own 60% of what's in our state. That federal policies have ruined the ability of these rural communities to take advantage of this resource, and that litigation practices have made that hole even deeper. And as a result, once vibrant communities throughout Oregon are struggling to stay alive, unemployment rates continue to skyrocket, income levels have plummeted, businesses are shuttered, and now counties, as we will discuss, are struggling to provide the critical services in public safety. Are the ideas before you the perfect idea? No. Are they the long-term solution? No, absolutely not. Are they a good faith effort to provide some level of help to these counties in peril? Yes. I do want to take a minute to specifically address House Bill 3453, which was a bill proposed by the governor that allows the state to declare a public safety fiscal emergency. I've long been an advocate for our public safety and judicial systems. I believe there are few things as critical to a functioning society. Yet the economic disaster caused by a lack of activity on state and federal forests means that today some counties are unable to provide necessary public safety services to their residents. I believe we have an obligation, if we can, to help. The long-term solution is allowing counties to once again take advantage of a robust economic resource, that forest land. But in the meantime, House Bill 3453 seeks to provide a short-term mechanism for the state to provide some assistance. I've worked closely with the governor and his staff since he first proposed the idea to first, ensure there is local control in the decision-making process. Second, to ensure the solution is one of a temporary nature. And third, to ensure that the state as a whole bears some responsibility for providing this much-needed safety assistance. First, we added the requirement that legislators from both parties and both chambers be involved in the decision of whether a public safety emergency exists, thus ensuring that every county would have access to a leader who could vote on whether this was necessary. Second, we ensured the bill Second, we ensured the bill included the basic constitutional protection of local approval of any assessment that might be imposed to pay for these services. Third, we limited the length of the agreement pursuant to this bill to 18 months. And finally, we negotiated the cost share. Since statewide policies, in part, have gotten these counties to this position, I believed it was important that the state share in some of the sacrifice. We also worked with the stakeholders to refine the bill so that local governments within a county are not automatically subsumed into an intergovernmental agreement, but may participate if they so choose. All of these changes are incorporated into the DAS 7 amendments before you. I would like to offer one other amendment on behalf of Representative Richardson, who could not be here today due to another obligation. The Dash 5 amendment provides one more layer of local control by requiring counties to sign off before an intergovernmental agreement is formed. I support this amendment and encourage you to do so as well. I also encourage you to consider Representative Hicks' ideas about solving problems unique to Josephine County because of its charter. Now quickly on House Bill 2206, I want to draw your attention to the Dash 4 amendments, which would include the most current negotiated provisions. This bill seeks to ensure counties can provide critical services such as elections, building code inspections, veteran services, and assessments. The length of any state involvement in such activities would be limited in this bill as well, though varied. I'll not dwell on the other bills as they are mostly more self-explanatory and are widely supported, well vetted, and rooted in concepts Senator Roblin and I worked on during the last biennium's task force. They are good bills, some of which just extend or clarify existing practice already helping counties. Again, thank you for your time. I urge you to support these policies. More importantly, I urge you to do everything you can to encourage the federal government to take action on policies that will actually solve the problem, not just prolong it.